That sentence, the sentence, woman, be silent. That with the hand up and woman, be silent needs to be so powerful that your wife is like, oh, and just, no
and it's out of love for her to stop her spiraling.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where she's like 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
You're like, we will deal with all that, but one thing at a time and calmly.
Yeah. That will be the most helpful
It will
thing.
not work if you never take the garbage out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're already a slacker, loser husband, you suck.
Yeah, and you're going to go, woman, be silent. She's going to go, what are you talking about?
You probably are going to get her left hand across your face. And deservedly so.
Break out the boom.
Welcome to Work Hard. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Jason.
Now this is podcasting.
Guys, hello. We're here.
Welcome to Work Hard. This is a brutal show. It's a ruthless show by non-experts in every field.
I would not describe it as ruthless, but I would say that it is. We do have a good time. All right. Now, if you don't like having a good time, if you have pearls, you often find yourself clutching, or you can't delineate, if you're not if you can't deduce simple concepts from the context around you, turn the show off. What that means is we're not pastors, we're not doctors, we're not lawyers, and we don't have any licensing around financial advisory services. So we are none of those things.
Everything we say is derived from personal opinion, observation of human nature, and our own meager knowledge of the scriptures and how we are trying to live our lives in accordance with that.
Yeah. So if you hear anything
imperfectly,
this is not the official. This is these are the official positions, maybe of Hyper Premium, but I don't even know if Hyper Premium has official positions. So it's not the official positions of any institution outside of the one we're trying to work to create,
which is in development.
Yeah, which is in development and isn't an institution. So
you're watching a structure being built, and it's sometimes studs are put in the wrong place.
Yeah. Well, often they're put. Yeah, whatever. We'll leave it there. Yeah, that's fine. So listen.
There'd be a lot of jokes about race.
There'll be a lot of jokes about race. I think we make a joke about Hitler's member. Just turn it off. That's my advice to you. This is not for you. This is for blockheaded 22-year-old guys. And that's who's going to like this and enjoy this and get something out of it. You are not 60-year-old lady. So just turn it off.
Yeah. So,
but shouts out if you are a 60-year-old lady and you do want to listen, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't. Just
not
saying
you can't.
It's probably not where you're going to relax to.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time getting it for sure. But shouts out to all the 60-year-old ladies. Love you. You're great people. You're wise. You've got lots of good advice. Except for the ones of you who don't. In the case, those of you who don't have good advice can get out of my face. That's it. Disclaimer over. It's time.
We're back.
We're back, baby, and it feels strange. It feels like when did we record last week?
Wednesday.
It feels like it's been days. I guess it has been days, but it feels like it's only been a couple days.
Oh, it feels recent. Okay.
Yeah, it feels recent.
Busy weekend, I guess.
Yeah, I got a new phone. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Jason just had to sit for 10 minutes while I explained to him autistically, like the why I don't like iPhones
but why you like this one.
Why I like this. Yeah.
Why you apparently like iPhones now.
Yeah. Well, this one. I don't
Newsflash,
like
Ethan is now a big Apple guy.
We'll see. That remains to be seen.
Die hard
That
Apple
remains
guy.
to be seen. We'll see.
That would be very funny if you turned into just this like
I
Android
converted.
sucks.
Yeah.
Apple's the greatest. It's always been the greatest.
Yeah. If I just
Make America Apple again.
I like. We're not going to do this.
Would that just be
I'm not gonna get autistic.
Make America Apple again?
Make America
That'd
Apple
be a bad
again.
hat.
Nah. Yeah. I like so I got a new phone. That's cool. iPhone 17 is actually good. It's a cool phone. First cool phone I've had in a minute. It's been a long time. I've been through two. I had a cool phone and then I had two bad phones and now I have a cool phone again. So
Feels good
it does feel good. They've done some good things with it. I'm happy.
to have a tool that works so far. 48 hours in, and it's not it's not upheld its reputation for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Hello. Welcome to Work Hard. My name is Ethan. With me is my co-host, Jason.
Hello, everyone.
I hope you guys are having a good old-fashioned fun week. I took my daughter to the state fair on Saturday. We went with her and my wife and my in-laws. And it was just a good old time. Now, too many brown faces. I'll say that. Way too many Mexicans, but like overwhelmingly Mexican. Overwhelmingly. This isn't Mexico. You know what I'm saying? This is Texas. Be less Mexican, but lots of Mexicans.
It's pretty close now.
It's pretty close. Yeah. That was fine. It's not my favorite thing in the whole world. And also all the carnies were Europeans.
That thing you just said reminded me of that Bill Burr bit about Asians in a restaurant.
I haven't heard that one.
If you walk in, I'm gonna do a bad job of it, but
Okay.
he talks about what's actually racist and what's explicitly racist and what is like maybe implicitly and what is definitely not racist.
Yeah.
And he goes, like, if you walk into a restaurant and you're like, oh, there's sure a lot of Asians in here. He's like, you haven't said anything bad about Asians.
Yeah.
He goes, but if you come in and go, there's a lot, look at all the freaking Asians in here. Like, just, he's like,
Yeah.
you haven't said anything bad about Asians, but you certainly seem to have an issue with the amount of Asians.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
you're getting closer, basically.
Yeah. I'll toe the line. That's fine. I'll be close. The carnies, here's what I will say. That is, because they're European, so they're white, so I'm allowed to dog them and I'm allowed to be racist against them. Is that Europeans are sludge-minded. I don't know if it's that there's something in their water or that just being molested by the French for 150 years. Like,
too much fluoride.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's something that permanently damages their brains, but they are some of the most retarded people. And I used to work with a lot of Europeans. A lot of my deals at one of my old companies was
Shout out to our 2% Spanish listeners.
Yeah, shout out, bro. Shout out Spanish listeners and the Portuguese guys and the guys
the
from
2% of Spain who listens to Work Hard probably agrees with your sentiment towards Europeans in general.
I hope you're just Americans in Spain. I hope you're not even Spanish. That's what I'll say. I don't want Spanish people listening to my podcast. So the Spanish and all their European cohorts are, they've got brains full of whatever regional soup that they have that they eat. I don't know what kind of whatever. You've got iodine poisoning from eating too many sardines. Don't know what's going on with you, but they're
maybe worth it.
They're not. It maybe sardines are really good. They may be worth it. Yeah, I have cans of sardines in my house. I eat them so much.
Which everyone who disagrees with this podcast would immediately go, that's why.
Yeah.
We found a reason.
Yeah, he has iodine.
He had iodine poisoning.
whatever chemicals in sardines. Yeah, it's across the blood-brain barrier. I'm gonna die.
Yeah. But first, gonna spew some absolute just hate speech.
Yeah. Before I go,
as you're going down,
I'm gonna spread some misinformation and some hate speech, and then
die
and go. Yeah, it's my life story. Yes.
In your 30s.
Yeah. Yeah, spreading hate speech to 150 people and then dying. Guys, Europeans are stupid. I kept walking up, and then we'd let them in, or they'd let us in, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, what's up? Like, how's it going?" Just talking to them and stuff, because they all looked miserable, and so I was like,
The carnies?
the carnies all looked miserable. There were a couple people, both of the guys that
Those
were
just
having.
carnies are miserable.
I think so, yes, but it
Seems like a miserable existence from an outsider.
It does. But there were the two guys that were awesome and super excited to be there, and they were both black guys.
Yeah.
Checks out. That sounds
Okay.
normal. And
Good for them.
yeah, they were having a good time. And there was like a super old dude who was just posted up by one of the rides and was just like checking people out, talking to the kids as they walked through. You go get them, have a good time, and just didn't care. Like, was just chilling. But these
You
Europeans,
ride that ride.
yeah, you go right now. Go out there. Like, it's
Go out there.
really funny. Yeah.
You put on the seatbelt maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah. It's not gonna go that fast. You safe. You fine, girl.
It doesn't flip upside down.
It's not gonna flip you.
Well, at least this one. I don't think this one does.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen it.
Look at my back turned. I don't know what it does.
Yeah. No idea. But he had a scooter. He had this scooter that looked like they provided it for him.
Yes.
It was just bare bones. You know what it looked? Have you ever seen a pipe gun?
Is it like the
Like in the
Mad
Manchurian-
Max version of a
Kind
of
of.
a bike, of a scooter?
Have you ever seen the Manchurian Candidate where he shoots the guy with the pipe gun? It was literally just
I
made
have.
of
It's been a
tubes.
little. Yeah.
It looked like
I can't remember
it was
that
made of
gun, but-
tubes. It was crazy.
Okay.
It's a crazy little tiny scooter
Made of tubes.
made of tubes, and he was posted up on it. Cool guy, whatever. Europeans, however, all grumpy. There was one South African guy who was excited. He was cool. He was fun to talk to.
He was excited to be out of South Africa.
I would assume so. He was
Yeah.
a white kid, so I would imagine he was
Any
excited.
South African I've met is excited to be out of South Africa.
Yeah, I would be too.
Not a great place right now.
No,
Hopefully it will be again.
maybe
Make South
Well, that's
America great
probably-
again.
yeah, South Africa great again.
Yeah, South Africa.
That's you can get in trouble for saying that. I think maybe considering the apartheid rules they had going on.
Maybe make South Africa great for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what apartheid was like. I know what I've been told tacitly apartheid was right, but I've been told a lot of things that ended up not being true at all. So
Yeah.
I have no idea. Apartheid may have been
I wasn't there.
utopian. Yeah, I wasn't physically there to see it, so I have no idea.
All I know is people who claim to be historians who told us.
Yeah. The same people who told me apartheid was bad are the same people who are, for whatever reason, obsessed with the fact that Hitler had a small penis. So I'm not really concerned with what they think happened in apartheid.
Yeah.
Um.
This seems like a good place for our disclaimer.
Oh yeah. We'll just
It'd be a little late.
We'll edit this and put it in the front. All right, and we're back. Hello. So
Now that that's out of the way.
where we at? We got too many Mexicans. Europeans are stupid. Black guys are awesome. When they're excited. What else? What else can we hit?
I don't know. Maybe we
should
just go to the main topic
dive right
now.
in?
Let's go.
Okay, guys, we're jamming. Remember, we told you. We did tell you. We gave you 3 weeks off. Basically, we said 3 episodes. Like, we're not making jokes. We're chilling. We're trying to keep it light. And now we're back. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Back to our roots.
What were we going to talk about today? Yeah, back to our roots. Oh, today we were going to talk about I don't know. What would be like a
Household
succinct-
management?
Yeah,
perhaps?
household management from the viewpoint of like headship from fatherhood and husbandry.
Yeah, what are your duties as we see them? So we're going to draw like derivational lessons from what we see as models in the Bible, what might be overreach, and what might be proper leadership.
Yeah.
So not like head down, like dictator style stuff, like the feminist movement would say all male headship is oppressive by nature. We
Yeah.
firmly reject that retardedness, and we say it's actually biblical. But how do we live that out in our own lives? And how would we advise you to at least think about and prepare for your own marriage and your own household management? And then take whatever we say today with a grain of salt. If you know us personally, you can see it lived out in our families. And if you don't, then go somewhere. Go to church, like we tell you at the end of every podcast. And if you are an 18 to 30-year-old male, you probably don't listen to the end of every podcast. But at the end, we tell you every single time, go to church.
Yeah.
And we've told you in podcasts past, and we'll tell you again, go and seek good men to learn from.
Mhm.
Men who have well-organized households, lovely wives, well-behaved, kind children, and learn from them. Okay?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we can open up here by talking about.
So we each have our own. You have 2 children. I have 4.
Yes.
We both have wives. This is our first wife, our only wife.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, prefacing this for anybody who doesn't know us.
Yeah. First and
We're
only
not
wives.
just 2 bros who are like, it would be what I'll do when I have a family
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So, anyway, we do have families.
We have families, and so far our children have been. I've described Jason's children as quite delightful. They've been a blessing to my daughter. I've gotten great feedback on mine. So far, parenting style, we're good. Like it seems to be working. So,
Yeah. It's
and our wives are happy.
Not perfect, but it's tracking more and more towards what we want them to grow up to be.
Yeah. We're right.
While
We seem to be
understanding
right.
that individuals definitely struggle with certain
Yeah.
aspects of their own personalities
Yeah.
that they got from me.
Yeah. 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 I think a great place to start is disciplining your wife. And so what I like to do is when my girl gets out of line, I make her stand against the wall.
Yeah.
So she puts her back against the wall. She stands
Okay.
against the wall facing me. And then I get squared up to her, even shoulder to shoulder. And then I karate punch either side right next to her head in the air as fast as I can, like this.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Until she starts to cry. And then that's how we usually handle in my house disciplining our wives.
I haven't thought of that, but that is very convincing. I think I'll start doing that.
Yeah. Pretending to hit your wife.
Pretending to. You see, you get the energy out
Right.
without actually hitting your wife.
Yeah,
It's
you get
brilliant.
You get the motion.
Because every man definitely wants to hit his wife all the time. So
This is-
here's how you do that,
well-
young guys, without actually hurting your wife.
Yeah. This is actually this is kind of like Jews and Shabbat, where they have all these things that they do that they're like, look, I'm not turning the lamp on. It's already on. I'm just I'm tricking God. Have you seen all the little
No.
rules they have? They have,
No.
you can't leave your home or something like that on Shabbat or whatever, on the Sabbath.
Oh.
And so they
do they take something with them that's their house? So they're
Yeah,
basically
yes,
taking their
yes.
home with them?
And they have these like strings that they put up. They'll get like permission from the
Oh, I've heard of
city.
them. Like, you can't travel so much in a day on the Sabbath, but then they would have, like, from your home. So
Right.
they'll, like, leave a toothbrush, at, like, 2-mile intervals or whatever it is. And be like, well, I'm not traveling too far from home because home is wherever your possessions are.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
all
That's where
home to me.
legalistic, stupid.
Yeah. So that's how I like to run my house. Is I like to try to trick God.
Yeah.
That's and I've learned a lot about tricking God from the Torah.
Yeah. It's worked really well.
Yes. Yeah.
So far, we don't think God's onto us.
No, I think I got him beat.
Next, we're going to build a giant tower.
Yeah. We're going to build the giant tower and I'm going to see him.
I'm going to see him. Yeah. And not incinerate me.
He's not going to burn me like an ant. Not even an ant.
This is off to a strong start, I feel like.
I think we're good. No, but for real, jokes aside, nobody's disciplining their wives. Okay, we're not doing that. Nobody's pretending to hit their wife. Dude, can you imagine if you actually did that? How crazy would that be, dude? My wife.
Yeah, that
would
is
have
the
a
behavior of an
panic
insane
attack.
person.
Yeah, I have when I was boxing a lot. I have made her stand there and go, "Watch this," and fake throwing a hook at her head. One time, I did that once, and she was like, "Why? What is wrong with you?" Why would you think that was wrong? And I was like, I guess I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. I'm just excited.
Just wanted to show you what I did, what I learned today. Mom, wife.
Yeah, she's also like, why did it have to be at me? Like, you could have just done it in there.
Because I don't have a boxing dummy here.
Yeah, just not thinking about it. Oh man, that's so funny, bro. Pretending to hit your wife. Oh, that's so good. It's not good, but it is funny. It's funny because it's awful.
It's also funny because we don't do it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it would be psychotic to joke about something we actually do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I don't know. Where's a good place to start? I mean, I think,
Maybe I'll start with what I said earlier, which was just that in your duties as male head of the household, your job is to lead, not to micromanage.
yeah,
Your wife is you ought to be marrying a very capable woman.
Mhm.
You may be unfortunate to have married a very lousy woman.
It's highly likely that when you guys are getting married, especially the younger you are, the more capable you both are. So, I wouldn't get too hung up. My advice to young guys, because I was kind of, I can even be like that now, where I'm like, other people, like I can compare myself easily. I fall into that trap where I'm like, oh, my truck isn't as cool, or my wife isn't as like indomitable, or the house is not as clean as I think somebody else's
houses
house
should be
might
clean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just listen, if you're in your early 20s and you guys got married, you're both retarded. Okay. So just accept that you're figuring it out. You'll learn how to keep a house. She'll learn how to keep a house. You'll learn how to run a house.
And we're only 50% or so less retarded than we were in our 20s.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, dude, to this day,
we were you.
Yeah. By the way,
very recently,
we are still like, I can't speak for Jason, but like at my house, we never are doing anything more than barely keeping it together.
Yeah, with small children, I think that is, and this goes, all the other couples at church who have multiple children all say the same thing. That's like, you guys, or we heard this so many times, where my wife would be talking to another, woman at church, another wife who has grown children now, and it's like, I can't keep up with anything. Like, there's always laundry, there's always dishes, there's always this and that, whatever. People are there's always someone screaming.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're in a very difficult time right now. This is a very hectic phase of life.
Yeah.
So if you're about to enter that, or you're in the midst of that right now, just know that you're not alone. And anyone who seems to have it together more than you, I feel like, is probably giving in some other area.
Right. Yeah. If
somebody has a spick and span household, I think they're trading that for something.
Yeah, or I mean, I think it's also, I think it might be healthy to have the idea that maybe they're not. Maybe they are just an indomitable person that have 25 hours in their day and they are holding it down.
Sure, but I think that's the rarity.
Yeah, fair. But I mean, I think it's okay to accept the fact that
that you are not the best.
Yeah, you're not the best. And
you're not going to have a home and gardens house
right
all the time with toddlers.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It's impossible.
And also the things that so in life in general, this is just to speak to why Jason or I would have the ability to say this, like why we'd have any authority to say this, is that like life in general, Jason and I have we've kind of won. So like Jason has a very beautiful family. They have property. They have a odd but cool house. I have
still in development.
Yeah, still in development. I have a hot wife, pretty beautiful daughters, an odd but cool house. And both of us have had successes and failures in our careers, but we've ended up in good spots. And I can say personally for myself, I never would have gotten to where I am had I not let go of that idea of like, there's some sort of equilibrium in performance, family to family, like letting go of the idea that like, maybe they are just harder workers. And so they're just are going to have a better whatever. And as soon as I let go,
their floor is going to be naturally picked up more than mine because they are way more naturally dutiful in that way.
Yeah. And so they're going to,
sure.
And
I don't mean to disparage and say that like everyone with a clean floor is like somehow sinning everywhere else in their life and their children are going to be Satanists.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say that. I just mean that I think the majority of us have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
And there are a few who are going to be exceptional.
Yeah.
And everyone else in the church is going to be like, well, so-and-so. Wow.
Yeah.
What a mom.
Yeah.
Wow. What a household,
And God bless them. They make fantastic.
I've seen those households fall before.
Yeah. So have I. Yeah.
Which is sad. So I'm just saying, don't put anyone on a pedestal, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's fair. But what I will also say is that once I accepted other people the idea that other people could be more exceptional than I am, my
Yeah.
own capacity for being exceptional increased dramatically.
Because you weren't worried about keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. And so I was just like, I know what I'm good at. I know what my thing is. I know what my wife's thing is. I know what like our identity as a family is. And we are very like fly by the seat of your pants, like address, cross those bridges as you come to them people.
Yeah.
And the more we've leaned into that, the more money I've made, the more successful we've been with raising our kids, the more peace we've experienced in our home, the more love we've experienced in our home, the more Christ-like everyone's become, the more success we've seen in the hyper premium world. Like,
Yeah, taking the tension off of yourself that you have to fit in a mold, like a really strict mold.
yeah,
There is a mold.
yes,
Undoubtedly, there's a biblical mold,
Yeah.
and you can fall outside of that. We're not advocating, I'm not saying, hey, anything you do as long as there's food on the table
yeah,
and everyone, your one kid isn't stabbing another one, as long as you don't reach that, you're fine.
yeah,
You know, it's like you could be sin light in a way, you know, by like
Yeah.
neglecting certain things. So not like gross sins, but still failing
yeah,
to upkeep some part of your household.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not advocating saying, hey, it's good to be slovenly, because
Yeah.
then you're not worried about appearances. I think you can go too far in that direction,
yeah,
you know, but also to worry and to be OCD about the appearance of your home to the point where it causes stress and strain, and your children and your spouse can feel it,
yeah,
and it causes extra tension, is overall not as healthy as just letting a few things go that are not of the utmost and immediate importance.
yeah,
There was a testimony that I heard of a woman who she and her husband were missionaries, I think, somewhere in, I don't want to say, maybe the Philippines, some Asiatic country.
yeah.
And they were kidnapped at a hotel
Oh, geez. Okay.
along with other staff and whatnot.
Okay.
Some people were killed along the way or executed. Other ones were kept. They were hostages. They were in multiple gun battles. The guys who kidnapped them were in multiple gun battles with like whatever government agencies, or they were like rebels. And
Okay.
so rebels captured them. And so there were factions fighting. So they were in multiple gun battles. And in like the gun battle that happened maybe 2 or 3 days, I think she was in this for like months. So they were captured for months.
Holy smokes.
They took like long boat rides where they literally just had to like pee in the bottom of the boat sort of thing, like with other people there.
Yeah.
Horrific conditions. Her husband was shot and killed
Excellent. That's
in
great.
like 2 days before they were rescued.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And she came back and they had children. And so her children told her later on that there was a dramatic difference, not really a surprise there, a dramatic difference though in her state of priorities.
Mm.
Beforehand, she had been very clean freak and very concerned, I think, about the state of the house to the point of it being an actual problem.
Yeah.
Not saying cleanliness is a problem, but she took it to an extent that was sinful.
Yeah.
And you could go the opposite direction. So for anyone who is cleaner, please don't take this as an attack. But she came up with her statement was, clean hearts are more important than clean floors.
Mm. Yeah.
And so if your desire for cleanliness in the home supersedes your desire or your ability to be clean of heart and holy and loving towards your children, your family, then that's a problem.
Yeah. 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 The quote that I love, I don't remember who it was or whatever, but it's this guy, he's out in the yard playing with his boys and they're tearing up the grass,
Yeah.
playing catch, playing
Yes.
football.
Yeah.
And the wife comes out and is like, stop, you're messing the grass. And he looks at her and he's like, woman, we're raising boys, not grass.
Yeah.
You know, which is, it is funny because I think that's a real quote by a real person with a real wife.
Yeah.
Who like told everyone that he
That he
just straight
told her
up
that?
windmill dunked on my wife. Like,
Yeah.
so I think
We try not
that's-
to do too much of that here.
Yeah. We're back. Sorry, had to cut something. What were we saying? Oh yeah. So I think just all of that, I think, is just a testament to how quickly you can fall out of balance and how like sin is just waiting in the rafters of both sides of life.
There's ditches on both sides of the road to fall into.
Yeah, and it is your job as the man of the house to keep the family out of either of those ditches and staying up on the road. And so to that end, I think it's one of the things you were talking about before we started recording was helping, like identifying the skill sets of your wife.
Correct.
And trying to understand where you need to fill in the gaps.
Right. Or push her and saying, I think you need to spend more time in organizing this, or less time in organizing this and more time in spiritual disciplines, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may end up marrying a girl who is a natural organizer.
Yeah.
And she has it just down to the letter,
Yeah.
She's really good at that, and you don't need to even touch it because she's just a master at it from the get-go, or really easily picks it up.
Yeah.
Or is just phenomenal at cooking and providing meals, organizing shopping, whatever the case may be. And you may not. You may marry someone who is very disheveled in that way, not a natural organizer, really struggles to organize their day, let alone their week.
Yeah.
Plan out for meals, whatever the case may be, which is not as big a deal when it's just the two of you, because you can fly by the seat of your pants a lot easier. But it's also about, your dynamic. Ethan was saying that you guys are much more as a couple fly by the seat of your pants. And if that works for you, then go with it, because you also are, both of you are more able to not freak out about the state of things being fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
Whereas if one of you is a hyper organizer and the other one is very, very lax, there's going to be a lot of tension there.
Yeah.
I think some of these things you can suss out to some degree. You can identify those if you're looking for them when you are courting a young lady and figure out, is this going to be a really natural fit, or are we going to have to do a lot of work in figuring this out?
Yeah.
And is it I don't think it's necessarily a, what's the word? A deal breaker if she's not whatever you're looking for in that way.
Yeah.
Depends on the extent of it.
Right.
Seek wise counsel and have talks with her about it.
Yeah.
Here's what I see. Look, I'm very particular and you're very lax. I know there's going to be conflict. Opposites do attract. And so I think it offers an opportunity for you both to come together and arrive somewhere in the middle, which is probably, most of the time I find the middle to be more in keeping with the way people should generally live their lives than way off on one side or the other.
Yeah.
And so you might help even each other out. My wife and I have both evened each other out as far as like spending habits, whereas she was like a hyper saver and I was not. It would get spent pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes on good things, but oftentimes just like nickel and dimed away on little bits of things. And so I've helped her to become a little bit less clutchy on saving every bit and saying like, no, it is appropriate to celebrate these things or to spend a bit more on this, whatever. The money's not forever. God's provided, and we will get more of it.
Yeah.
God will provide more of it if we're diligent with it and we're not just living it up trying to buy shrimp and lobster when we should be on a beans and rice, budget based on our income, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then also, she's also pulled me in a little bit on just, hey, well, this looks fun. This looks cool. I really want this book, buying everything immediately.
Yeah.
It's like sit on it for a couple of days, put it in the cart and think and pray about it for a couple of days and go, do I really need that book? Am I going to really read that within the next 5 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've evened out a whole lot more over the 10 years we've been married and met a little bit more in the middle, closer together.
Yeah.
So we are opposites in that way, and it's benefited us. So
yeah, I think I honestly, my personal advice to people, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but it's worked out well for me as well, is marrying somebody that was the opposite of me in almost every regard.
Yeah.
And that worked out really well for us. Now, when you're getting,
she doesn't have to worry about talking.
Yeah, she
ever.
she were you around on the internet a few years ago when the audio for like TikTok was very popular? The hold my hand, come with me, we're gonna go this together, we gotta go, hold my hand, and like the videos they always had were like somebody is like rushing through something in a panicked way. Did you see any
No,
of
I
that?
missed that.
All right, well, there's the audio is like two dudes. The one guy comes up, he's like, all right, come with me, we're going to do it. And the other guy's like, what's going on? He's like, hold my hand, we're going to get it together. Come on, hold my hand. He starts running. And the other guy's like, ah. They're just like spastically running through something. That's been my wife in our marriage. It's like,
What are we doing? What are we doing?
6 years ago, I went, hold my hand. But it has been good. It's been a balancing thing for her and for me both. Very similar kind of situation. Oh, whoops. New phone. Now I'm totally derailed. Oh,
You and your wife evened each other out.
yeah. So I think if you go opposites, I think you will even each other out, but you have to understand going into it that that's the situation that you're in. And that by that nature, like living with somebody, operating with somebody that closely and that tightly of a partnership, when you're so different from each other, even going into it, you're like, I know we're different. I know we're going to be this, whatever. You are so much more different than you're prepared for. And so you're going to get like 2 years into this and be like, I don't understand why she won't just do this thing.
Yeah.
And then a year later, you're going to go, oh, it's because she doesn't even know, like, she doesn't even consider the situation the way I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because we're opposite.
And her family culture. We've
Yeah.
talked about this in the past. Your family culture has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
What the expectations were. You just did things this way.
Right.
You don't even know why you did things that way.
Yeah.
Because I think my wife has a great illustration of this. Oh, what was it? Oh, it was cutting the ends off of a roast. She read something somewhere where this woman was like, she would always cut the ends off a roast before putting it in the oven. And then her daughter or someone else was like, why do you do that? And she goes, I don't know. My mom always did it. And so she asked her mom. Her mom's like, I don't know. And they went back enough generations and they found out the only reason the ends of the roast got cut off was because like the great grandmother had an oven that was too small to fit the whole roast. And so she cut the ends off it so it would fit.
Yeah.
It was nothing to do with like how to cook a roast.
Yeah.
It was entirely practical.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. There's going to be tons of stuff like
weird
that.
things like that.
Yeah.
That you're going to have to like have 45-minute conversations on just to figure it out.
Yeah. Like the stuff that my wife puts in the refrigerator. I'm like, what?
That won't go bad.
Yeah. Why is that in the refrigerator? Or dude, my wife will fold. So she used to do this. We used to just live in a world of stale chips. All of our chips were stale all the time because she would do this thing, and her parents do this. So they fold the corners. So you have the chip bag, right?
Yeah.
And they fold the corners into like a triangle, and then just one more fold.
Okay.
So it's like a letter almost, like
Yeah.
almost like making a paper plane, and but then it just unfolds. So you just like put it in there. And so like I go 2 days later to get some chips for lunch, and I open the thing and there's just an open bag of chips. And I'm like, fantastic. And I get it out. And so it's just so
They're
like,
stale.
yeah, you're like, babe, why don't you just roll it up? Like everybody else, roll it up, get a clip.
She's like, this is how everybody does it.
Yeah. She's like, this is how, no. But then there are other things like,
marriage helps bump the edges off your rough rocks.
Yeah. My parents, when I grew up, my mom handled all the money. So my dad would say all the time, he has no concept of
even what's going on.
What things cost. Like he's like,
yeah,
I don't even know. Like I get gas for my car sometimes, but I don't have like a concept of like how much an apple costs or whatever.
Right.
I don't know what our electric bill is. I don't know what, and so that's kind of how we've done it. Cause I that's just what you did. I just thought that's women's work. Balancing a checkbook is women's work. I'll make the money, you spend it.
Yeah.
And then you get out into the world, like especially our world now, that's much more conservative. There's a lot more of like the husbands like manage the money and like pay the bills and then give the budget and then give their wife an allotment for the week and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I have no concept of what, like, I know my paycheck comes in and then I just check my phone when I'm about to go. I go, is there money in my account when I'm about to go do something? And I
Yeah.
go, yes. And then I go do it. And then,
There's enough to do
Yeah.
this thing.
anything other than that is just, I have no concept of what's going on.
Yeah. We've done a couple different things in that regard. So like when we first got married, my wife was working for like the first month before she got pregnant.
yeah.
And then she immediately got very sick, and she was working around like cooking meats. And
Oh,
so she felt
geez.
nauseous
Yeah.
terribly around work all the time. So it was like, well, and we're done with that.
Yeah.
Done working outside the home for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we had a very strict balanced budget, right? It was very Dave Ramsey kind of budget. Like every penny is spent before it comes in. Here's what we are saving for. There's different categories of saving. We're putting this much out of paycheck to car repair fund before it needs the repairs, and we'll just do maintenance every 3 months. There'll be some maintenance, and we'll have this much to spend on maintenance, that sort of thing, with like every category.
Yeah.
So very detailed. And so I was the one who set it up and like had it ready, but then she was the one who, for a period of time, was the one who just went in there and put all the numbers in and organized it every paycheck. So every 2 weeks or every month, she would go and do that. So now I handle all of it.
Yeah.
Especially like there's, some investment stuff. And so I handle that stuff, and she doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
She has a grocery budget, and, every once in a while checking me like, are we able to buy groceries still for this price?
Yeah.
Like, how's it going?
Yeah.
What are the food prices like out there? Is this enough?
Yeah.
Like I increased it recently because just the prices being what they are. I was like, we can't feed the family on this anymore.
I know.
Here's more.
That's absurd.
Tell me if you can't buy meat.
Yeah. And you'll get, this is a great example of like, this is a good practical example of kind of the things you can do practically to lead your family. But my wife had, so there's things as you will age in your marriage and mature in your marriage, you will smooth each other's edges out. I used to, dude, this is a little embarrassing. So I'd never lived with a woman before, obviously. Well, I guess not obviously. I wasn't saved till I was out of college, but I never lived with a woman before marrying my wife. So we're together now. We're living together post marriage. And dude, I just wasn't used to having a woman around me all the time.
Yeah.
And so I would like do things like I'd be in the kitchen and I'd turn around and just straight up body her. Like I just wouldn't be paying
bump into her?
Yeah. Just straight up with my full chest, turn around, full momentum, and like
Boom.
almost knock her down onto the ground. And like we
weren't used to having anyone around.
I'd only ever lived with guys before.
Yeah.
And if we're that close to each other, who cares if we bump into each other? We're both 200 pounds. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But now I'm like,
you're knocking someone flying.
yeah,
over.
I have a wife who's 6 feet tall and weighs 135 pounds.
Yeah.
Like it's not a big woman, like a beanpole. And like turn around and I'm like 260, 270.
Yeah.
Turn around, full bam, just come fully into contact with her, make her cry. Like I just wasn't paying attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it happened like probably 5 times within the first year that we were married that I like almost knocked her over or like shoulder checked her on accident really hard.
Poor girl.
Yeah, I know, dude. And you feel like such an ogre. Like you're just like, I'm such
so
a
sorry.
giant fool. And so you become like, and that was great because that was a fantastic thing for me to experience before we had kids. Because now I have a 2-year-old and I'm like much more conscious,
careful of how you
and
move
like
through the
ginger.
house.
Yeah, and I don't like swing my feet around in my head. Like yeah,
because you could knock them out.
yeah, you kill them. Yeah, like if I hit my daughter like with my full force of my foot, like swinging it out of bed, or something. Yeah, for sure. So that's one. I think that's for me. That was a really big. It doesn't sound that big of a deal, but I was like making my wife cry. It was like it's not good. It's bad. And
a big adjustment period.
Yeah. And my wife, on the flip side of that, my wife still to this day does not know how time works. It's just has no concept of like how long things will occur. But she used to, especially.
I will tell my wife, she's like, I'm sorry that conversation took so long. And I was like, you didn't think it would take 2 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
You thought you were going to talk with your parents for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen.
Ever once. Yeah.
Which is fine. It just
Okay. I can tell this story and it'll bleed into another story that's a really good like flip of like going after the husbands. Because I'm going to go after girls for a second here. So my wife was having a really hard time keeping a schedule.
Mhm.
And so when we had, and it wasn't that big of a deal before we had kids, right? Who cares? Which is funny to think about because like even when you don't have kids, you're like, oh, I got a schedule, I got to do whatever. But like now that we have kids, you think about when you didn't have kids, you're like, that was
so much
game.
less important.
Yeah, everything is so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Every night is date night.
Yeah, every night is date night. Everything you do doesn't matter. So when we had our first daughter, that was a really tough transition for her, having to be at home like at noon for nap or be at home, whatever, for nap time. And that was another practical thing how I ran my house. I was militant about sleep for my daughter. Like she needs sleep.
Yeah, I remember you saying some things. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I don't mess around with sleep because I've had insomnia since I was a kid, and it's just such a miserable situation. Being tired just sucks, and it just arrests development so effectively. And so I was really militant about sleep, and so I was like, no, like getting her to bed is a priority, getting her to sleep is a priority. That's our top priority. And so I was very. I rode that horse very aggressively, and so she had a really hard time because she'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to grocery shopping. It'll take me 30 minutes," and I'd be like, "That's not even
remotely.
Absolutely, that's not how that's gonna happen." And so what I had her do was every day for a week. She had to sit down in the morning and write her day down out to the minute. So it was like, I'm going to get Abigail in the car, buckle her up. This is how long it's going to take me to get into the car.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get we're going to drive. I'm mapping it. It's going to take me 26 minutes to drive to the grocery store. It's going to take me 3 minutes to get us out of the car. It's going to take us 45 seconds to walk into the grocery store so she could see
how long
things actually take.
Yeah.
And
which is a good exercise for somebody who has.
Yeah, and it worked
yeah.
wonders.
Yeah.
It worked great. She got way better. And I did that because when I was 19 years old, when I started cooking, I had a guy who'd been cooking for a long time. He wasn't a chef, but he was a very experienced cook. He was very good. And he took me into the lobby, into the restaurant one morning before we opened and set me down and sat there in silence staring at me with an 8-minute timer. And we just sat. And then it went off and he just turned off the timer and went, "That's how long 8 minutes is." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Everything you do should be done in 8 minutes or less." And I was like, "Got it." And it was just like, from that point on, I just had this like burned into my head, like, this is how long 8 minutes is. And it was like revolutionary for me in my cooking career. I got way better at cooking because I got way more focused on being fast. And so I just kind of implemented that lesson with my wife, and it helped a lot. She got way better at keeping time, and so that's just a practical tip of like kind of what we're talking about here, of like the way you can kind of run your house is the Lord will give you.
Yeah, something you could do, since we're talking mostly of the guys. I mean, obviously, if you struggle with having any concept of how time works, that's a good exercise for you to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so here's the flip side of this. Okay. So,
or if you're a big spender, writing down every single bag of chips, every energy drink you buy goes into a ledger for a week, and you go, I'm spending how much on sugar and salt?
Yeah. On beer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, the first time I did my beer budget, I was like,
terrified.
Oh my
I would have been a millionaire by now if I didn't drink beer.
I was like, dude, I could get a car.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah. So the way those coffees stack up is nuts.
Yeah. Oh, so this is okay. So this is
We're
serious
at
advice.
50 minutes, by the way.
All right, cool. So we'll actually, I'll maybe make this my last very serious point because this is actually, I do think that this is probably one of the great sins a young man can fall into in his marriage, like naturally.
Okay.
And it can be very destructive. And it was something I was extremely guilty of. Um, so I'll tell you. So my wife one time went to, I don't know how she made this plan. Don't know what made her think to do this, but she went to the grocery store and then ran other errands afterwards and left the groceries in the car,
Gotcha.
like in August.
Yeah.
And we had to throw them all away. And I was, now this is a young woman, okay? Young woman with her first kid. It's going to happen. All right. Mistakes are going to happen.
Yeah.
You're not going to, whatever. The way I
You're
handled
sleep
this
deprived and you're.
yeah. Yeah. The way I handled this was beyond retarded. And so I probably should have been like flogged or something. But she came home and I was furious. Furious. Now I was under a lot of stress at that time too. Not an excuse, but
It wasn't the only thing going on.
wasn't the only thing going on. I was furious. And I started to raise my voice and like yell, and it made my daughter very upset. She was like 8 months old.
Yeah.
My daughter was like, and I was like, whoa. It like checked me, and I was like, oh, brother, this is not good. Like, I'm going to make my daughter a nervous wreck. I'm getting way too angry. And I was like, I like stormed outside, and it was raining, and my wife was trying to unload the car with the baby in her hand while it was raining on her. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, what? And I was like, get the baby inside out of the rain. And she was like, well, I just got it. And I was like, now. She like went inside, and I came in all in a huff, and the ice cream was melted, like completely melted. And I was like, how much did this cost? How much did this cost? And she was like, whatever. And I was like, opened the trash can and threw it into the trash can. And I was like, wasted. $8 waste, like getting that upset about $8. Like, think about how insane that is. And so it was just extremely inappropriate, very bad. My wife was very upset my daughter. I didn't go too crazy, but it was so that if you're a young man and especially when you get married, I think anger is like, to me, seems to be one of the great possible sins. Like my opinion is that women will always kind of deal with the temptation of allowing their neuroses to overtake them, and men will always have to battle with their anger overtaking them. And when you're a young man and a young woman, she's going to be very neurotic and you're going to be very angry. And so you need to really diligently work through that as quickly as you can. I don't know that there's any way to negate that arrangement.
Well, taking a beat sure helps.
Yeah.
Distance. I'm not saying don't be the guy who's like storms out of the house. It's like who's just pissed. It's like, I'm gonna go to the bar.
Right.
Or not even say where you're going. Going for a drive.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah.
But calm yourself enough to say, like, I'm really frustrated.
Yeah.
I need a moment. I'm going to take a walk. And, like,
Yeah.
just go outside and pace or something and think and pray and gather yourself before going in and addressing whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, it doesn't need to be addressed in that first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You can take 10, 15 minutes to cool off.
Yeah.
And it'll do wonders for you not sinning against your wife in anger.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that that's one thing you have to really, really guard yourself against, is your own anger. You have to also guard your wife against her own neuroses. We've talked about this before, that I think that, like, it seems to me that the common wisdom from the church right now appears to be, or at least the evangelical church right now appears to be, the young wives have a ticket to punch for anything. Like, I'm upset. That's validated. I'm
Oh, gotcha.
Angry, it's validated. I'm this, validated. I'm this, whatever. And it's just
It's not
like,
a sin to feel these things.
yeah, it's not a sin to feel these things. It's not a sin to wallow in it. It's not a sin. Your husbands need to servant leadership. You need to whatever, blah, blah. No, you need to be able to tell your wife no. You need to be able to look your wife in the eyes and say, this is not happening, or you're being too anxious, you're worrying, and that's sinful. But at the same time, you need to be able to do that to yourself and go, it doesn't matter that you think, like, even if you're right and your wife did something wrong or whatever. Well, are you angry about it? Because if you're angry about it, now we're sinning. So let's reel it back in. As Jason said, maybe get some distance, whatever. I mean,
I want to say at least the anger necessarily, the initial burst of anger, the emotional feeling is not necessarily that you're sinning. Acting on the anger,
yeah,
in yelling, in throwing things, in whatever, cruel words, that's sin.
yeah,
For sure. But the flare of like the same as like seeing an attractive woman and going, and then immediately diverting your eyes instead of going,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
and dwelling on it. There's a difference there. There's a gray area, but I think the Bible says, be angry and do not sin. So you can be angry without sinning, but be aware that anger is very quickly going to lead to sin.
yeah.
And it might be a split second, but you need to tamp that down.
Yeah,
And
so
make sure it doesn't lead there.
The
But
point
you're talking about women giving the free card to just be like as emotional as they want to be
right,
in their sin state.
yeah,
And it being okayed
Yeah,
because it's how they feel and you have to validate feelings.
right. So what I'm saying is that you're going to have to help your wife regulate something she's never been taught to regulate. She's always been taught,
Possibly. I hope.
yeah, possibly. If you are in a environment like we are at our church, probably not. If you meet a girl from like an environment like that, she's probably had phenomenal parents that have raised her very well.
Right.
But if you go to a mega church or you meet some random pagan girl from college or whatever, you are probably going to have
recent converts.
Yeah, you're probably
may have never been grown up with. They grew up with the feminist, with the validation of feelings, and that if you feel it, it's okay, and you need to let that go wherever it's going to go, and that's how you actually achieve whatever. You do need to process it properly, but not just allowing yourself to feel it and wallow in it is not working through it.
Right.
There's a difference.
Right. Yeah. And so you're going to have to teach you're probably going to have to help that girl learn how to regulate. But you also are going to have to do the same thing because I promise you, if you're listening to this, you're 20 years old, whatever, and you don't have a wife yet, you think you've been angry, bro. You think you've experienced anger. You don't even understand, dude. Your capacity for rage is beyond your own comprehension. And so you're going to have some times where you're gonna mess up. And so my advice is to just get through that phase as quickly as you possibly can. And teach yourself.
You realize you got to grow up.
Yeah, you have to grow up. Yeah, you have to grow up.
There's a couple of points in my life that I can recall, not real specific, but I remember going, oh man, I'm going to have to mature past this. And I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not fun.
I got to let go of something that I held dear.
Yeah, someone's got to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's you.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah. So you're going to have to grow up to get past the rage.
You can't shepherd your wife.
No.
While being uncontrolled.
Yeah, and
you have to go first. That's servant leadership. That's not servant leadership. That's actual leadership. Is you going first and leading. You have to be in front. You can't be sitting back, obese, in a couch, watching sports, drinking beer, and being like, "You need to stop being so neurotic."
Yeah, calm down, bitch. Yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah. You
get yourself under control.
Yeah, get yourself under control. And the last thing I'll say here is, well, first of all, that anger will negate your right to exercise authority in the house, by the way. So
because you are not a leader, she won't follow you.
You're a child. You're a liability in the house. You're like throwing things, yelling.
She's going to realize that she married a boy
Yeah.
and not a man,
Yeah,
and she's going to be pretty upset about that.
Yeah. And she may not realize it consciously and just realize it subconsciously, which puts you guys in hot water because now you can't even talk about it.
And you're unattractive to her all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. That
Anger, yeah. Unbridled anger is probably the least attractive thing to a wife who just wants a happy marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. She needs to know that you're capable of being angry.
In defense of the family.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. She needs to, I am of the firm, and I think my wife would not, I think my wife would affirm this. My wife is in the camp. I'm in the camp that your wife should be a little scared of you. Like she should have this like concept of like, if he wanted to, he could just clear this whole house. Like he's a good man because he won't. It's not, you're not a good man if you can't hurt someone. That's not to make you a good
this
man.
is in the same way that we fear God because we know God is powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously not to that level.
Obviously not. Yeah.
Obviously, your wife should not think of you as God.
Yes.
But there is a God is our head, and we fear him and love him because he is powerful enough to obliterate us.
And chooses
but
not
he
to.
doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah.
And likewise, the husband should have that same, not that same, lowercase,
Yeah.
should have that household level biblical Christian respect from his wife. Doug Wilson says this all the time. Women are built to need love, and men are built to need respect.
Yeah.
And neither one of them can perform in a marriage, can be happy in a marriage without that from the other one. It's the most important thing for both sexes to have. Love for the woman, respect for the man. If your wife doesn't respect you, you are going to be miserable. Wives, if your husband doesn't love you, you are going to be miserable. Period.
Yeah. I think it was maybe the third date, or maybe it was after we actually became boyfriend and girlfriend. But I remember telling my wife that I had a violent history.
Yeah.
And I remember her holding my right hand, because it's covered in scars and my knuckles are all scarred up and my pinky knuckle is gone. And she's holding my hand in her hands, looking at all the scars on my knuckles and feeling my pinky. And I was telling her, like, I've been to jail before for fighting, and I have a streak of that, and it's a problem I used to have. I don't have that. I haven't been in a fight in a long time. It actually hadn't been a long time at that, but it only been like a year or so. But
yeah,
it seemed like a long time for me at that point.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't a lie.
Yeah,
You just
it
realized it wasn't that long in retrospect.
In retrospect, no time at all. Like if somebody told me I used to do drugs, I haven't done drugs in a year, I'd be like, keep at it, bud. Like, yeah. In 5 years, it'll be great. Yeah, I'll definitely hire you in 5 years. Yes, but she was holding my hand in her hands, and she was looking at it, like feeling my pinky knuckle, and she was like asking me questions about it, but I could feel the
tension.
No, the sexual tension. I could feel the like primordial like arousal.
Oh,
that's like
okay.
Like seeping off her, being like, "You did what?
How many men would you say you've hit?"
Yeah. And she was like, so there was like a little like, okay. And she was like, "Have you ever hit a woman?" And I was like, "No, never." And she was like, "Okay." And then she's like, asked me questions about it. And it was, for the most part, it was like, I'm now trying to vet this criminal to make sure he's not going to be crazy. But at the same time, she was also like, kind of like, really?
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, "Do you feel pain?" So there is like, your prowess does factor into things, and your wife should have a sense of like, but I think we'll see one day if anybody ever gets to prove this, but my wife has voiced, she's like, I don't know that she's like, I know logically that there would be enough, like if there were enough guys around, they could stop you, but it doesn't feel like that. She was like, I felt like if you got really angry, you'd like
just be like,
yeah,
casting off the pile of like Agent Smiths.
Yeah. And so that's important, dude. That is important. Your wife, for my wife, it is more important. So she's more into the prowess than maybe most girls are, or something like that. So it's on a sliding scale.
Sure.
but your wife should have some sense
That at least you would take the first bullet.
Yeah. Or
That you would at least die for
you
her.
could buy her time
Yeah.
to get away or something.
Even if
like
you're just chewing on the guy's ankle.
yeah.
At least you have the bravery to sit there and chew on the ankle while you're stabbed to death.
Yeah. So I think that's still important. So the anger that men experience does come from a place that will ultimately be good if you can master it, and kill the parts of it that have to die. And in the same vein, the female neuroses is that is the same engine that drives the things that make you think she's so sweet and nice. And so these are not
Without them going overboard.
right, without them going overboard. And so you have to train them. You have to train these beasts to become things that are godly and helpful in your life.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I'll say is that, what's our time?
107. I have a closing remark, but
Okay.
go ahead.
I see this a lot in my college buddies, a lot of golf dad activities. And golf dad activities are Saturday morning rolls around, tip of the hat. Good luck, mom. I'll see you in 3 hours. I got a tea time at 8, and they're just out. And then their wives are always nagging them and bemoaning, and you're doing this and whatever. Get up. Why are you? What are you doing? Like they're trying to watch football on a Thursday night. The wife comes in. What are you doing? And then the men get this sense of like, I can't get a break. I can't get a break. As Nick Fuentes says, can a nigga breathe? Can a nigga breathe? That's how you feel. You feel like you can't breathe, whatever, you can't get space. My advice to you is to operate in reverse. If you prove to your wife that you care more about the family and her than golf, then she will be very excited to encourage you to go play golf.
Right.
So, my hobby, I've talked about this ad nauseum. I love drinking beer. I love lifting. I love,
So
playing
the
video games.
henpecking is a result of men not
It's her anxiousness. Yeah.
Well, the man not proving that the family and her are more important than his hobbies,
Right,
and
yes.
his laziness.
Yeah. The henpecking is your fault. Yes. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. If you're the husband, getting
You're a
henpecked
bad leader.
is your fault. Yeah. And you should do two things. One, you should go, woman, be silent. But then also you should be there every Saturday until she believes
And
that
this
you
might
care.
also be a 3-hour conversation figuring out what she actually wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because maybe she doesn't consciously realize it, but she is subconsciously going, he's not doing enough stuff. He's not doing enough stuff.
Yeah. My wife and I just had to have this conversation for real, like 2 months ago. We were having the exact same disconnect. I could tell she was getting a little
Stressed
naggy
about something. Yeah.
She was getting a little like, what's going on? Where are you? Whatever, nagging me about stuff. And so finally I was like, all right, we're getting too far. And this is another thing. You're going to have to reevaluate and we're getting loose over here all the time.
Not necessarily one and done.
Yes. No, it's a constant maintenance.
It'll
And
be,
so-
but it's maintenance as opposed to the building of it, which takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
Especially if you have, a woman who was not raised in that way, or you were not raised in that way. You might be starting a lot further back from the starting line than some guys.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Yeah. And so like, we had to have this conversation about like, okay, clearly I think I'm communicating to you that this is the conversation for real. What we had, I sat down, I said, listen, I'm frustrated because I feel like I've been going above and beyond lately. I've been super diligent with the family and yet you seem to think that don't love you. And so I'm not doing what's making you feel loved. So we need to readjust here and you need to tell me what you need from me. So we just had to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And like my boys we just went out of town to hang out. I keep referencing that over and over again because it's just like the last time I had exposure to a ton of normies, and they were all like, my girl's upset that I had to go here, whatever. And they all have to walk away from the group to be on the phone with their girl or whatever. My girl just had a child. She's with newborn.
Yeah.
And was like, go. And she got a fever the day before.
Yeah.
And was like upset, like, no. We got to figure this out. You have to go. Like, I want you to go be with your friends. You need to go. And so she's like, I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. I'll be fine. And I was like, gosh, you sure? I don't know. This seems strange to go. You have a newborn and a fever. And she's like, no. You can do it. I'll be fine. Whatever. So my wife is encouraging me to go.
Yeah.
all these guys are dealing with their girls
Trying to drag them
trying to
back.
drag them back, and no, you can't go, whatever. Or
Because
if you do go,
they're not reassuring their wife or girlfriend.
right. And so you can live at war with your wife at all times, or you can redirect that energy and
Be a leader and take it head on.
yeah, spend a year proving to your wife that you will put her ultimately over everything.
But it doesn't mean that you have no male friendships
Right. Yeah.
and that golf is forever off limits.
Right. Yeah.
But it needs to be in its proper place.
Yeah. 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 And you'll start to feel more free. You'll start to feel way less compelled to go play golf. Once she relaxes, it creates a feedback loop between the two of you. Once you come in and build trust with her, she'll relax. Once she relaxes, you'll relax. And then you'll enter into this great place of equilibrium. And so that's just something I see a ton with dudes, especially young guys who are trying to lead families. They get concerned about they have kids, they have wives, but they want to kind of stay Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And play video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which you can do, which I encourage you to do, which I do. But you have to acknowledge the fact that your life has changed. It is different. And you still can, like, honestly.
You're not going to do those things in the same proportion, same ratio that you did when you were single. And every child is going to take away more and more of that.
Yeah. And my life really has not changed that much. Like my ability to engage in the things that I find fun has really not been, maybe that's just because I work from home. And so it's easier for me to just kind of
fit it in here and there.
Yeah. Fit it in here and there or whatever. But it just really has not changed that. And maybe that's because my wife trusts me. And so I can just go out on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And just go be at the bar till midnight. Like that's just, my wife wouldn't even bat an eye at that.
Because you've done the work.
Yeah. Because I spent a year and a half being like, no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to be here. Cause I knew going into it, that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And so like, I was very intentional on the front end of our marriage being like, listen, you come first. So everything else, like, I'm not going to go out with the boys. I'll stay home on a Friday night or whatever. And I did that for a year. And so now on the back end, I just tell my wife, like yesterday, we went to lunch. And then after lunch, we just went and had beers. And we were I was just gone from the house without really I didn't even tell my wife I was going to do that. I just went to lunch. She thought I was going to come home right after. And then I just texted her and said, hey, Jason and I are going to go have some beers. And she was like, okay. And then I came home with more beer.
Yeah.
And I was just drinking beers. And when you're drinking beers, by the way, that does not mean it's time to slack off and do whatever. If you're drinking beers on a Monday night, that means it's time to double up on fatherhood responsibilities while you're already buzzing. You're going to have a good time anyways. You're putting the kids to bed. You're making dinner. Let her go relax. You're already drinking beers. So just double up on everything. And it's that kind of stuff where all of a sudden you having a beer in your hand makes your wife be like, oh, nice. I'm not gonna have to worry about dinner. He's going to do it.
It'll signal the exact opposite of what culture would suggest.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, you just need to learn how to implement the things you want to do in your family and communicate to your wife that she comes first. And the family comes
but
first.
for me, I guess, and it's just to provide a different side of that, is that I have learned I can't drink much during the day at all or around my family because it'll make me too relaxed and I'll want to just relax because I don't get energetic off of alcohol like you do.
Yeah.
I just want to go to sleep.
Okay.
Or chill.
Okay, well then.
And then so anything that interrupts that, I immediately find myself getting more easily frustrated with. And so it's definitely not good for me and my family to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like at most I'll maybe have one with dinner, but even that I'm like, I have to be careful and make sure sometimes I'll follow it up with coffee right afterwards so that I'm not like, time for getting ready for bed. And, like, oh, stop fighting, you two, getting all irritated.
Yeah.
So my final thing, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. My final thing is that everything we've talked about, how to organize your household, I think it is biblical to say that since you are the head of the household, you are responsible for everything that happens. So even if you have said, my wife does the budget, I don't think there's anything sinful about that, but you are still responsible ultimately if something is going badly. If she is managing the money badly and you do nothing, it is ultimately your fault that you're broke or
Yeah.
in debt.
Yeah.
Okay? So you need to be on top of everything, not in a micromanagerial sense, but at least have your finger on the pulse and know how things are going. If
Yeah.
you're homeschooling, if you're, whatever, you need to have your fingers on everything because you are ultimately responsible for how the household functions. And if it's in dysfunction, even if your wife is the one failing in some way, it may be that you've put too much on her.
Yeah.
Or you have given her a task and said, I'd like you to do this because that's just the way I grew up and that was the way it was done. But she's not gifted in that at all. If she has a hard time adding 2 + 2 and you're like, please do the budget.
Yeah.
You are going to do the budget.
Yeah.
And then you're surprised when the credit card debt, soars and you're like, what happened?
Why can't you get this under control? Yeah.
It's well, why'd you give her that job
Yeah.
without a lot more training or just doing it yourself? So
Yeah.
you have to know what your wife's capabilities are. You have to know when you're pushing her too far, and you have to know when you're not pushing enough too.
Yeah, certainly.
Because certainly you can fall into things are okay-ish, and it's just easier for me not to address something that's difficult. I don't want to do something difficult. So don't be lazy.
Yeah.
Okay? Be a good leader. Get out in front of it. Attack it head on. Be loving and kind to your wife. And be ruthless in getting to the bottom of whatever her anxieties are. Why is she constantly texting you when you're out with your friends?
Yeah.
That's something you need to address.
Yeah.
And you should have done it before you left the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Months before. So
Yeah.
you're behind the ball.
Yeah.
Do something about it very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. You can have a household full of peace and love and no nagging women buzzing around your head, but that's up to you. That's on you.
There should not be an argument over you had guys' time, so I get girls' time. And
Yeah,
like that.
Once you get, you're so far behind.
Then you're just negotiating how much time you get to spend away from the children.
Right.
What are we doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And so
You decided to have kids.
Yeah. 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 We had kids. Do we need to put them up for adoption? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you do also need to not be scared to tell your wife no. Okay. That's the last thing I'll say.
You will need to put your foot down in some ways, in a wise way.
Yeah.
And when it's harmful to the family, say we're not doing that.
Yeah. That's not happening.
I'm happy to explain and talk about why, but we are not doing it.
Yeah. Also, I've said this before, the power of
the hand.
Figure out how to get the left hand to be the most powerful thing you can. When your wife is talking, you just raise it and she just stops talking. That is, dude.
But you also cannot overuse that.
No, that's a scalpel, but that is an invaluable
I just
tool.
mean they'll eventually disregard it if you're constantly doing that.
Yeah,
just
all the
anytime
time,
he's like, I was just talking.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
no,
how
no.
it's used.
Yeah, no. If you're in
That's like when she's way off in deep waters and
Yeah.
you're like,
woman,
you're about in sin.
yes. You
You're
need
freaking out about
be
this.
silent needs to be a
That's a last resort.
That sentence, the sentence, woman, be silent. That with the hand up and woman, be silent needs to be so powerful that your wife is like, oh, and just,
and it's out of love for her to
Right.
stop her spiraling.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where she's 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
You're like, we will deal with all that, but one thing at a time and calmly.
Yeah. That will be the most
It
helpful
will
thing.
not work if you never take the garbage out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're already a slacker, loser husband, you suck.
Yeah. And you're going to go, woman, be silent. She's going to go, what are you talking about?
You probably are going to get her left hand across your
yeah,
face.
yeah, you
and
are.
deservedly so.
Yeah, you're going to get kicked in the nuts.
Stop being a moron.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's it. That's the episode. Just be more diligent in your houses. I'm sure many of you who are listening to this already are. But if you're a young guy and you do not have a wife yet, or if you're having any of the problems we've described here,
First year of marriage, all that.
yeah, first year of marriage, well, it's not that, whatever. My first year of marriage was awesome. My third year was, I think, probably the hardest, but,
That's just because you didn't plan ahead.
that's true. Yeah. But also,
you're like, I'll deal with that
dude,
later.
when your wife is insanely hot, it makes every problem way less.
easy.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. A hot wife doesn't buy happiness, but damn, it sure does get close.
But it can buy you a boat.
Yeah. 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 The nagging sounds a lot less incessant when it's being done by a white lady who's like insane looking. Um, guys, listen, be diligent, be focused. Do not turn your head from your family. That is the Lord put your family, put you in this family. It is your second great concern of your life after your faith. It is your primary concern, practically speaking. It is it is the great achievement of your life. Your career is second or third. Your friendships are second or third. The great achievement of your life will be your family. And your wife needs to know that you believe that with your heart. So behave that way. Come to believe it truly and then behave like that. Be a family man. Have the people around you, your friends, your boss, have your boss pass you up for promotion because he knows that at a drop of a hat, you're out of there if it's going to compromise your family in any way.
Yeah.
Have your friends go, it's not even worth hitting him up. He's not coming.
Yeah.
He
takes bedtime very seriously.
He takes bedtime very seriously. Have that be the way people experience you. Have family man be the number one, like Christian family man. That's it. That's the order in which people should be describing you. And if that's the way you approach life, then what you will end up with is more freedom, more free time, and more like ability to go do whatever you want than your friends who are like not family men, who have families that are not primarily focused on their family. You will end up being able to go to the bar more, play more video games, watch more football, do infinitely more stuff with more freedom and more peace than they could ever hope to have.
Liberty.
Yeah, you'll have way more liberty. Yeah, you'll have way more liberty than they could ever hope to have.
You'll be content with what you do have. Even if it's not more objectively in time, you'll still have more peace and liberty about it.
Yeah, your sex life will be much better than theirs. They live in sexless dead marriages. You'll have a wife who's like desperate and excited to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's better in every way. Your life is $1 billion US more valuable when you are focused on your family first. So that is the ultimate advice. Organize your house such that your wife is happy and peaceful and gets to be shielded from the darkness of the world, and catechize your children, take them to church. That is it. It kind of covers our outro anyways, the whole episode. So
yeah.
Guys, we love you. We are praying for you. Please find yourself a young woman, marry her,
and have some babies.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.